Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Cloud and Data with Kaushik. So in this session, we are going to discuss the routing in Flask app routing. Okay, and this is very important concept. If you are going to work any web framework, so routing is very essential, and there are many different steps of routing also be there, right? So what is app routing? App routing means you mapping the URLs to a specific function. Okay, understood. You mapping your URL. So suppose you launch your web application. So first you are write www.example.com slash. So this is your index page. So whenever we try to hit this URL, the default landing page will be displayed over there, right? So app routing means mapping your URL to a specific function that will handle your logic for the URL. So you have written some logic and this you have written some function, you have written some parameters, you have passed some parameters, you have written your functions. Okay. So this kind of things will be displayed through the routing when the web server is up and running. Na? So it will automate in the background, it will check the routing. If is there any routing part is mentioned, so only then this function will be triggered over there. Okay. So modern web framework use more meaningful URLs to help user remember the URLs and make navigation simpler. So for using navigation, we require the routing part. Okay. So in our application, like we have used the slash routing. Here you can see we have used slash routing. So whenever the page will be displayed in this port 8900, the slash by default hello index this page or this string will be returned over here. Okay. So like you are writing www.example.org and we want to add the routing. So you are add multiple routings over there. So it's help to bind a function. It helps to bind a function. You can write that in the notepad. Here I'm going to write. One minute. So to bind a function to an URL path, we can use app.route. This is called nothing but a decorator. Decorator. Okay. So you can see in that app, I'm providing one example, right? I have app route and here I'm just adding one other routing. So you can see this is the decorator app.route and we can pass any name that about. Okay. And in the about, I can write this function about us. About us one function. Okay. Then I just return this is about us page. Okay, this is about us page. You can also add your HTML tag h1. H1 tag. It's a H1 tag. This tag will be rendered. This syntax, this tag will be rendered as a HTML over there. Okay. So if I run localhost 8900. So you can see the routing this way. Localhost host or localhost 8900 slash. So what will be triggered? Hello Kaushik, and it will display simple this line. Okay. Now second, when you write localhost 8900 slash about, you can write about. Okay. What will be written? This is about us page. This is about us page. Okay. These things will be written. Now let's check. I hope the application is not running. I have to run the application once again. And we can see 8900. So go to this port 8900, localhost 8900. So first in the index, that means slash. Nothing is there. So it will be displayed. Now I'm going to write about. You can see this is about us page, and here you can see this text is coming as bold, right? And if you inspect now, just go and inspect. Remember H1. So we provide H1 tag. This is about us page H1. So this tag is rendered, H1 tag is rendered as HTML over here. Okay. So I'm just add this one about and H1 tag. That is the reason it's showing bold. This is one example of your routing. Now suppose I have one of real scenario. I have dynamic URL. Okay. Dynamic URL means you have passed some data, and this data, you pass the data in the URL, and this data will be showing in the HTML page. We can also build dynamic URLs. We can also build dynamic URL by using variables in that URL. In that URL. To add, how we can add? How, my question is how we can add the variable? How we can add the variable to the URL? So you can simply use variable underscore name. Okay. And this function then return the function after that, the function then receives the variable name. So I have this function. Inside the function, this variable name will be used. So I pass the variable name in the URL. Don't worry, I will show in the demo, no issues. As keyword argument, as a keyword argument. Okay. So let's see how we can do that. Suppose this is about the page. Anything you can add. You can add also. So before going to write the dynamic URL, you can also use blogs. Any routing. Okay. You can also use dev contact us. Contact underscore us. This is your function, and you can return h2. H2. This is contact us page. This is contact us page. Okay. And go about. uh, just change contact. Okay. So here just add in this line localhost localhost 8900/contact, and it will return this is contact us page in the h2 tag. Okay, this is contact us page. This is contact us page. Let's see. I have to run the application. So your about us page is there, and when you write contact, you can see your h2 tag is coming. So in the contact is one URL, and this contact us page will be showing. So this is different. You can see that this is one page, different page, right? This is one contact as one page, about as one page, index is one page. We are not going to connect all the page. The page is there, and you cannot go back to the about us page from any button, right? So this is the different case. So I will definitely address this concept, no issues. But before that, I have to understand the dynamic URL. How we pass the dynamic URL. Okay. So you can write, I am also writing this dynamic URL. You can create app.route slash, you can use that my user. This is any name you can pass, and what the name you are going to show in the website, na, in the page application. So you have to write your variable name in this way. So my user name. This is a variable name. Any name you can pass, no issue. And like Dev to your user. Okay. And remember this name you have to pass. Username, my username. Just copy and add over here. Otherwise, it is treated as argument, keyword argument. Okay. Now we have to return. I use if function, if string, and welcome to the welcome. Add curly braces. This username. Add here to my channel. You can write my username. Okay. So dynamic URL, add variable name with my user. So no issue. You can go and you can try to hit. So my user, just copy. This is the URL. So what will be the actual outcome for localhost 8900 slash my user slash, now username I provide Rahul. This is my user. I'm going to pass this one. Or you can write this way also, h2, and this is your h2. Okay. Now let's try to hit the browser and run this application. And you can go and copy this URL, or you can write my user Rahul. My user Rahul. Copy. My user Rahul. Welcome Rahul to my channel. So you can see it's a variable. Dynamically it will show you. Here I am write Kaushik. Welcome Kaushik to my channel. Urpita. Welcome Urpita to my channel. So this name is taking from this URL. So this is one dynamic URL. Okay. So one of that one of the important things that in the dynamic URL, na, we can also, I'm also write this note, we can also use a data converter. For what purpose? To convert the variable to a specific data type, to a specific data type. Okay. Suppose you have used in this way, just write converter, na? So converter variable name, you pass the variable name, and suppose you provide the string, it is a default type, and accept any text without a slash. So you can pass string, can be integer, it can be float, it can be any UUID, anything you can pass, and it will be converting. Okay. So let's try to see one example how it will working. So adding data converter. How we can do that? App.route. In the app.route, right, post one, and your ID. Your ID you can pass. So this is your ID, okay? Int data type, and in the data type you can just pass ID. Same way. This is a variable, and def showing number of post, and you can pass ID. Then it will return what? The ID of the post is, you can write the is3 and is3, you can take it. The ID the ID of the post one is, this is your ID. So dynamically you can pass the ID. Some problem on just copy this line, change it, and you can write ID. Okay? So you can pass your ID over here. Let's see how it works. So here I am just pass your ID 9, and this 9 will be displayed over here. Okay. So go and just try to hit the browser once again, and go and your what will be your URL? The URL is 5 localhost 8900 host 1 host 1 slash 10. Try to hit the browser and check it. So copy the URL, this one, right? The ID of the post is 10. Not found because you mentioned the integer. Okay, if you write this one, na, proceed. It is also not found. That is the reason we have to add integer. The data type you have to mention integer. Okay, if you mention string, so then 10 will be passed. So just copy, only integer value will be passed. Okay, you can write string ID and copy this URL and add this one. Okay, just copy this line. I hope some problem is there. One second, one second. No issue. Within a function. Okay, okay, yes. So I have to forget to copy the wrong slide. Sorry, it's my bad. Yeah. So number of post as string. Any function name you can add. Okay, and you pass the ID. Let's try to run once again. Now go and now you can write 10. So ID of the post is strings 10. Now I'm just, yes, so 10 will be one because I have that URL also, right? So this is the strings integer 10 and this is your string 10. So you have to properly mention your data type and this way your URL will be working, okay? One last concept in that session is that we have add URL rule. This is also one inbuilt function that Flask has provided. But it will work. The URL mapping can also be done using this add underscore URL underscore rule, this method. So this is inbuilt method of Flask. Okay, add URL rule. So you can pass your rule over here, okay? And this approach is mainly used in case we are inputting the view function from other module. So in the course, the session progress, we are going to see we have to copy one view. We have to reuse the view from other function to another function. So that time it is useful. Okay. So this session also be there. No issue. Everything will be covered during the Flask. So this time it will be very useful. This approach is mainly used in case we are inputting the view function from another module. In fact, the app.route calls this function internally. So that means app.route internally call this add URL rule method. Okay. Let's try to see how add URL rule work. Add URL rule. How it works. Let's try to see. So I have the show user method is there, or this method show user. Show your user. This function is there. Okay. So show user function is there. Now I have to do one thing. App dot add underscore URL rule. Okay. This rule I have to provide. Same thing. User, that means you can write this way. Copy it. Copy this one and dot, and you have to provide your function name. Show user, show your user. Okay. Copy this function name and pass here. Dot show user. Okay. This is function. This is the name. Just again, yes. So common. Yes. So here I just remove this line. No issue. Or you can comment it. This line. And same thing, it will be working through add URL method. And I just do, I cut it and add here, so you can understood. Okay, so either you can write at the rate of app route and your routing name, routing URL, and also pass that argument. Alternatively, you can also write app.add URL rule. And same thing, you're just adding the URL and also show your user. So this is your user. Any name you can pass, no issue. And dot this function name, so your user. Okay. And just copy this URL. Your username you can pass. Run it once again. String object method show your user. Attribute error. I think some, okay, no issue. It should be your this here. Instead of dot, you have to paste comma. Now run this. Okay. 8900 is Rahul, and you can see welcome now. Same thing. SS, welcome SS to my channel. Either you can add at the rate of app.route, my username. Otherwise, you can also configure your route in URL with that app.add URL rule. So app internally connect this method. Okay, so it's inbuilt function. So just pass your function name and you have to add this attribute. Okay, and same thing will be happen over there. So this is the only things that was pending, and I covered all the things for the routing session. So in the next session, I will discuss more about more other things regarding if if any routing is not present, then how Flask will handle all kinds of things. So that will be covered in the next session, and I hope you can learn something new. So thank you everyone for joining the session. If you have any doubt, so please let me know. I will cover, and the code base that will be given to you in that as a GitHub link. So please go and try to practice all the things, and please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel. So in this way we can grow and learn together. And thank you for joining the session. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thanks everyone for joining.